For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Save big on your next painting project at Menards. Get long-lasting color with Pittsburgh's Grand Distinction Exterior Paint and Primer in one. It's highly dirt-resistant and provides a mildew-resistant coating. Save big on Grand Distinction Paint. The perfect combination of strength and beauty. Visit us in-store. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Summer's not done yet. Be here September 1st when the Brewers host the Phillies. And get ready because we're celebrating the long weekend with Dollar Hot Dog Day at the Labor Day game. Get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. A blockbuster deal for the Green Bay Packers as they acquired all-pro linebacker Micah Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys. Parsons and the Packers agreeing to a 4-year, $188 million deal. That makes him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. As part of the trade, Green Bay giving up defensive tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. Brewers splitting their 4-game stand with the Diamondbacks as they fell today 6-4. Crew will now hit the road and start a 3-game series in Toronto tomorrow night. And the college football season just about to kick off at Camp Randall Stadium. The Wisconsin Badgers taking on the Redhawks of Miami, Ohio. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding, and a whole lot more. Let's take a look at the roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. It was a bit hectic out there earlier in the evening, but looking at the maps, no incidents to report. Roadways are looking good. And your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 54. Partly cloudy skies expected Friday. Will be cooler again, a high of only 67. But shaping up to be a very nice holiday weekend. Plenty of sunshine Saturday, a high of 72. Mostly sunny on Sunday, a high of 76. And then Monday for Labor Day, sunshine and highs in the upper 70s. In Sheboygan, it's 62 degrees. Right now, 66 in Madison. And it's 63 degrees in Milwaukee. I'm Neil Doyle, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
On the field, inside the clubhouse, and everything in between. This is Brewers Weekly. Here's Dominic Cotroneo.
All right. A little bit of a dud this afternoon. These last 2 games of this 4-game set with the Diamondbacks. You had the walk-off sac fly on Tuesday. You held on for dear life on Monday. And then these last 2 games, a common theme, the lack of the big hit. The Brewers, for the second consecutive day, follow the Diamondbacks, and for the second consecutive day, go 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. That's the story of this game. We're going to spend the first half of this program talking about the game, talking about the series. We're going to hear from Sal Frelick a little bit later on, talking about his Heart and Hustle Award. Congrats to him. We'll explain that a little bit later on, too. We'll also hear from Jose Quintana, Tobias Myers, and Pat Murphy here shortly talking about today's game. So up ahead, we will talk about Bryce Terang as well, how great he has been in the month of August, what goes into that specifically with his bat. And furthermore, we will also talk a little bit about what's ahead with these Blue Jays and with these Phillies coming up this week. Is it a blip? Are they fatigued? What is going on for the Brewers in this stretch? Real quick on today, I mean, it started out as great as you could, right? With Labor Day weekend on the horizon, the unofficial end of summer. But don't tell the summer of Sal that summer is ending.
Second start with the D-backs. There's a drive. Right field. Gone. 1-0 Brewers on a Sal Frelick leadoff homer. His 10th of the season.
Jeff Levering's call as... You know, for Sal, that's now 3 leadoff home runs this season. His last one came against Paul Skeens in the middle of the streak. That was in game number 11 in a row of the streak. So the Brewers have been rolling with Sal in a leadoff spot today. He ended up getting 2 hits. We'll talk to him later. But offensively, the Brewers, you know, they got punched in the mouth there in the second inning. Jose Quintana man, it was not his day with the strike zone. He would end up with 4 walks and 2 hit batters. All 4 walks came into score in this game. He allowed back-to-back 3-run innings in the second and third, both of them over 30 pitches long. And quite frankly, it was not pretty baseball. He was missing the zone. He was falling behind 2-0. The zone was tight, but it was consistent from James Jean. And he's a minor league call-up. He's a guy that, has been trained on the ABS, and I think he got a lot more right than he got wrong in the eyes of the ABS. And, this is kind of what the new world is going to be like. Maybe other umpires would have given the edges to Jose Quintana, but he wasn't budging. He wasn't getting the calls. And then furthermore, he could not throw a changeup for a strike today. You'll hear from Jose on that in a moment. So after 2.5 innings, it's suddenly 6-2 Diamondbacks. And you may recall last season when the Brewers were down 8-0 at home against the Diamondbacks heading to the bottom of the third and pulled off an epic 10-9 comeback win. Well, they started that rally in the third inning. A 1-out error by the third baseman Blaze Alexander, then a single by Bryce Terang, but Vaughn would pop out. He has drastically cooled off as of late. We'll talk about that later. But then it was up to Isaac Collins.
And the 2-2 pitch. And Collins, a ground ball back up the middle into right center field for a base hit. Contreras is in. Terang around third. He will score. And the Brewers get 2 back here in the bottom of the third. It is 6-4 Arizona.
Lang Grindle's call. But that would be the end of the offense for both teams. Think about that. I mean, it was 6-4 in the first 3 innings of the contest, and then donuts the rest of the way. Part of that is because of Tobias Myers. He was fantastic in relief, but on the other side, Nabil Crismatt kept the Brewers off balance. Jalen Beeks got the 1 batter he was supposed to get in Sal Frelick in the 6th. And then it was the rookie Taylor Rashi making his big league debut and navigating in and out of trouble in both the 7th and 9th innings because of the Brewers' woes with runners in scoring position. That was the story of the day. The Brewers failed to hit with runners in scoring position once again. And, overall, the Brewers are a team that, when they're putting the ball in play, more good things happen than others. But I think now you throw in the fatigue, you throw in the lack of Churio and Hoskins and relying on everyday guys that have never been really everyday players this season. And then also you factor in Andrew Vaughn cooling off. He's come back down to earth, but granted, I don't think he's this bad, and I didn't think he was that hot. I think he's somewhere in the middle of where he's supposed to be valuable to the Brewers today. He got pinch hit for in the very end by Christian Yelich, just the last batter of the game before Yelich grounded out. But the good news out of all of this is that, in fact, even on a week that you really are frustrated with yourself about, splitting with the Arizona Diamondbacks in a 4-game set, he still gained a game and a half on the Cubs, right? The Cubs were idle on Monday. The Brewers won. Then the Cubs get swept by the Giants, and the Brewers win 1 more game. So they don't lose any ground, and they will wake up tomorrow morning 6.5 games clear of the Chicago Cubs with 27 games to go. So there's your little bit of good news. Up next, we'll hear from the pitchers that were of major factor in today's game, Jose Quintana and Tobias Myers, as we kind of compartmentalize what went right, what went wrong, and, you're going to hear Jose Quintana's assessment of himself. That's coming up on the other side of the break, right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Back with more Brewers Weekly after this.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Certa Pro Painters. They painted our house, the outside of the house, fantastic. They did the parts in the sun, the parts in the shade, the parts on the north side, the parts on the south side. They paid attention to detail the whole way. They went the extra mile all day long. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or your business. They do both. They pay a lot of attention. They took a lot of time with our house, and it looks absolutely perfect. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They're the real deal. They're the best in the business. It's Certa Pro Painters.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing, too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
This is Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Brewers fall today 6-4, but rise in the standings. They remain 6.5 up on Chicago. 855-616-1620 is the Sounding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. 855-616-1620, or over on YouTube. We are live. Just search WTMJ. So Jose Quintana had a bad day at the offense. In his own words, what went wrong today, Jose?
I was terrible. I wasn't good today. Hitting the sun, it's too much trouble. I think it's that kind of days when you don't think about it. I think our team make a really good effort. Giving to me 4 runs. I think it needs to better execution, so throw strikes. That's it. Need to throw strikes.
Throw strikes. That's the most common refrain from today, and that makes sense. I mean, 95 pitches, 48 of them were strikes. That's barely over 50%. That is the worst strike rate. Just flat out strikes, whether they're swings and misses, called strikes, foul balls, whatever. Flat out strikes, 50%. Just simply not good enough. And you knows that. You know that too. And that's what makes today frustrating for Quintana and frustrating for the Brewers is that, yes, you could look at the line and see 5 hits and 6 runs. That doesn't tell you the whole story because 6 free base runners with the 4 walks and the 2 hit batters. Of those 6 free base runners, 5 of them directly contributed to runs. 4 walks scored, and the hit by pitch came with the bases loaded. Only 1 hit by pitch was left stranded. That was thanks to Tobias Myers. So for Quintana, the 5 hits, he wasn't even giving up loud contact, and he agreed in this assessment.
Well, I can throw changes for strike today. I think was the first issue. All the changes I throw was down. After I tried to start to hit the sinker down away, because I try for sure. I know they recognize it's gonna be a change and hit that spot. And was trouble too for me, to hit that spot and control counts. When runners on base, I don't think they hit me hard, but it was using me get all that runs. This is just a bad day.
And it wasn't hit that hard. He's right. Of the 5 hits, by the way, they were all singles. Didn't allow a home run today. Of the 5 hits, here are the exit velocities: 92, 90, 91, 69, 67. He didn't allow a ball hit over 250 feet in the air. 2 balls hit over 250 feet in the air. And even yet, those were just routine flyouts to center field. So for Quintana, he was off the barrels, just didn't throw strikes. And we can harp on it, but he knows that, you know that. And he had been really good over the last couple of weeks. His last 6 starts or so have been really kind of back on track into the Jose Quintana the Brewers were really excited about coming into this start in the month of August. 5 against the Nats, 6 against the Braves, 6 against the Pirates, 6 1/3 against the Reds, 5 1/3 against the Giants, and then today did not get out of the 4th inning. And the walks is the common denominator. He had a total of 6 walks in his previous 5 starts. He had 4 walks today, and that doesn't even include the hit by pitches. So Weird day for Jose, but one of the silver linings of today's game is Tobias Myers looking like Tobias Myers again. After he had the rough one on Tuesday, 3 1/3, 3 hits, no runs, no walks too, and just one strikeout, but it was a good strikeout. We have the full session here with him and the media talking a little bit about that radar gun.
To come in and pitch twice in this series the way that you did, and especially the length that you gave today, I mean, just how do you feel about kind of what you were able to contribute and hold the line?
I know that's kind of what I'm here for, is the length side. So I want to go out there every single inning that they let me go out. So today felt more like I'd keep going. Like I just want to keep going. I knew the situation we had down there with pin being short, so I was just really happy to be able to go out there for 3+ and keep it at what it was.
Did you look at any of the radar gun readings today?
A couple, yeah. I seen it a little bit. Felt good. Felt pretty good. This is kind of how it felt down there when I was rolling a little bit. Like the velo was up a little bit, and I was able to pitch with that higher velo. So, yeah, felt pretty good.
Have you ever hit an 8?
Yeah, I hit 8 a couple on July 4th this year, and then a couple years ago. But it was nice to see it up here.
Are you gaining confidence in this role, of like, especially with some of those numbers, and kind of thinking about, okay, this could be a good thing?
Yeah, I mean, out of the pen, it's kind of just full go. Like I was telling Hookie and a couple other guys, like it takes me a little bit to get going. Like out of the pen, like I feel like I'm pitching as a starter, like kind of going over the heart of the plate a little bit too much, especially the last one here against Arizona. But I think just being able to kind of just let it all go and just go at the hitter with everything I have, that's the mentality I need to have out of the pen, and just as long as I can go.
You want to give a nod to your defense as well. Perk robbing another, and Bryce's day.
Unbelievable. Bryce, Perk, the double play by Mona, Sal. I mean, these guys do it every single day. They don't get enough credit. It changes the game for sure.
Twice going into this next stretch of this long stretch, it's Toronto, a really good team. Philly's a really good team. Where are you guys at going into this really tough stretch?
I think we're confident. I mean, we're going to go out there and play the game that we've been playing all year. These guys have been tremendous at not giving up. I mean, today, just baseball. I mean, we had how many fly balls do we have at the warning track, and them as well. So, I mean, it's a game of inches, and today we just a couple close hits there that could have left the yard. But, yeah, I think we'll just go right at them like we have all year. Good defense, good pitching, good timely hitting, and run the bases well.
I mean, the Blue Jays play a same brand of baseball that the Brewers play. And you think the Brewers are hard to strike out. The Blue Jays are the hardest team to strike out in Major League Baseball. So we'll talk about them at the very end of the program. But that's a little bit from the pitchers in today's game. We'll get to Pat Murphy on the other side of the break as well. Want to address a text. Sam from New Berlin mentioned that Rhys Hoskins' hole will most likely be a right-handed power bat on the bench. But is there concern about Hoskins needing regular starting reps and Vaughn cooling off a bit? He's hit many balls hard, but could that change the calculus on Hoskins' role? I think that with Vaughn coming back down to earth and having the last 10 days or so just sort of some bad luck, and today was like his first bona fide like bad game. Came up with the bases, runners on base in all 4 plate appearances and empty in all 4 plate appearances. That happens. That's baseball. There's no reason to overreact to it. But now, you consider the fact that he has been playing so much. And everyday role coming from the bigs to the minors, a little overexposed right now. Give him a little chance to get a breather. I don't know what this calculus really means for Jake Bauers, because when you think about Vaughn and when you think about Rhys at first base, that's how the Brewers are probably going to roll with this. I know you may have seen the video of Kurt Hogue tweeting today of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that Andrew Vaughn was getting reps at third base. I mean, I could see it, but I also really can't see it, because that would mean Caleb Durbin's not in the lineup. I think it's just sort of keeping a tool in the shed just in case. I don't see that happening for the Brewers, putting Vaughn at third base in a playoff game unless something drastically happens. I think first base is simply just between Rhys and Vaughn, and maybe even the DH spot becomes a little more cloudy. But I think that when Rhys returns, whenever that is, it doesn't sound like it's going to be Toronto. Maybe it is going to be September 1st when they get the extra roster spot, that they will be able to hand off 4 and 3 games a week, whatever that may be. Up next, the manager, Pat Murphy, after today's 6-4 loss to the Diamondbacks on 620 WTMJ.
Catch more Brewers Weekly coming up on WTMJ.
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano from Wisconsin's Morning News. It's baseball season, which means Brewers 360 is back every day at 8:40. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Every day, all season long, we're joined exclusively by Brewers guests, including manager Pat Murphy and more. So Murphy, as we're wrapping up our interview.
Great talking. We really enjoyed it, okay?
I was like, you did? Is he just in a good mood, or what'd y'all do to Murph?
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
My gut tells me that this summer heat's gonna last, and that means your AC's gonna be put through the paces. Now, we all know that AC can take a licking and keep on ticking, especially if it's an Armstrong. But when yours needs to be put out to pasture, call Quality. With over 70 vehicles on the road, we'll be there in a hurry. And with over 60 years of experience, how can you go wrong?
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Nobody likes it when their old water heater sings its last song. But if there's a positive side to it, say you upgrade now with a tankless water heater. That means instant hot water on demand. Those old water heaters aren't exactly efficient either, but you ride them as long as you can. And when they can't do the job anymore, call Quality. Whether it's drain cleaning, snaking, or taking care of a leaky pipe or faucet.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, your siding, your windows, or your bath project during the fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
Summer's not done yet. Be here September 1st when the Brewers host the Phillies. And get ready because we're celebrating the long weekend with $1 Hot Dog Day at the Labor Day game. Get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
It's Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Anything happen in the football world today? I'll go ahead and go public with this. I'll go ahead and speak my truth. People who know me, they know me well. I think I'm a decent person. I think I'm an okay guy. But the worst thing about me, and just prepare yourself. You can sit down. I understand. Just sit down for what you're about to hear. I still love every single one of you very, very much. I'm a Cowboys fan. So today, though, makes me happy because Micah Parsons is going to a fan base that appreciates him. And I think Green Bay fans are fired up. I think Cowboys fans are sick of you-know-who. And good for the Packers. That's all I can say about that. Honestly, I mean, to say that I care about football is a stretch. Like, I enjoy football, but I don't care about it. I care about the X and O's more than I care about the bravado of it all. But shout out to Green Bay. Should be fun up there. And they got Micah Parsons, and can confirm, very good player. Matches the eye test. Anyway, that's a little bright note, make you smile. Put a little egg on my face in this one as the Brewers fall 6-4 to the Diamondbacks today. I thought Pat Murphy was very introspective today in today's press conference. I want to play this in full for you. Pat Murphy speaking with the media after today's defeat.
Yeah, I don't know that, you can't walk people. That's the bottom line. Now, he pitches on the edges, and when he doesn't get that edge call, it's going to be a long night. So he didn't get a lot of those edge calls. And I'm not saying that the umpire was bad. I obviously had my discussions with him, but he wasn't getting that edge call, and he needs that, or he puts himself in, tough situations. Anyways, that happened, and we got behind and had opportunities to get back into it, and once again didn't get the big hit with runners on base.
Is there an adjustment that he needs to make when he's going for that pitch and it's just leading to all those walks?
Sounds like it sounds like certainly you'd think someone can do that, but when you've pitched this many years, always pitching on the edge, never getting in, that's how he's in the big leagues at 89 to 91. So to ask him scoot it over on the dish, careful. So
kind of a literal version of inch from the top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was tough. But, hey, Tobias and Easton McGee saved us. We're great today, both of them. And, credit the Diamondbacks pitchers, mixing and matching the way they did. Two young kids that I thought did a great job for them and kept us, from getting the big hit at the big time. We had some good days offensively. Perk hit two balls that just missed two balls that would have been, we had some good swings and good at bats at the end. Of course, Durbin in the clutch. Frelick also hit two balls. That didn't have enough distance, but oddly enough, with all this going on, it shows you we only walked twice, maybe three. We walked 3 times today total and still scored some runs, but we're a type team that has to take advantage of those walks. And how many do we leave on base? 10? I'll bet you.
I think it was 10, yeah.
Yeah, can't do that.
Murph, it was the second straight day of 1 for 12 with men in scoring position.
We've been there before.
Part of that's baseball, right? But given this long stretch, this is 15 games in 14 days, do you think there's anything to that on offense as well, or are those just separate?
Yeah, there's all sorts of things at play that you really can't put your finger on, but, we're having good at bats. When you square one up and it's just a little short, it's 376 instead of 378. There's, it's just, you can do probably little to change that. But it's making sure you're swinging at strikes and taking balls. We had an at-bat with Vaughn early on, first and third, 1 out. Maybe got a tough call against him, but then swinging a pitch not in the zone and got jammed for a pop-up. Something like that. Those are the types of things that end up coming back to you. You only get a few shots, and you got to make sure your ball strike is in place. And
When those big hits aren't there and you guys are struggling with guys on base, does that have kind of an effect on guys for the swing decisions? They make it a little more aggressive?
No, that's what you're trying to fight against. That's the mental toughness of being a good team. You have to be mentally tough to be able to do that. But for the most part, I think we've done it. You're just playing. This is a talented offensive team over there, and they pitched well enough today to keep us off balance.
Murph, do you see anything? I know there's no excuses, can't coast uphill, all that, but do you see anything as far as fatigue and the streak or anything that sort of suggests that they aren't playing like the Woodpeckers you thought they would be?
Yeah, no, you're not going to play. There's never been a team in the history of baseball just to keep, always having things fall their way and always having the ball to go where it is. It's just not going to happen. So, especially a team this young, this inexperienced, this, we got a lot of guys. Like I said, we got a lot of position players that were in AAA a couple months ago. So, you're just not going to get results every time. Just not. But we've put ourselves in a position to, again, what game aren't we in? We compete at every game. Very rare you see we don't get back in it. Yeah, we'll get through it. How about Perk robbing a home run and Sal jumping for that ball that he didn't need to but made it look like it?
Bryce, a couple plays.
Bryce plays up the middle. Wow. The other play to his left. And a lot to be encouraged about, but yeah, unfortunately we let this one get away.
Yeah, they let it get away. It's a split. Again, we referenced the standings already, but maybe they're just saving them all up for Toronto and Philly. So we're going to shift off of this game, talk more about what's ahead, and we got to talk about maybe the player of the month for the month of August, because it just got spicy in August because of what Kyle Schwarber's doing in Philly. We'll explain next on 620 WTMJ.
More Brewers Weekly coming up on WTMJ.
Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. So he said to me, "Boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders." And I said, "You betcha." And he said, "Do you mind if I cherry pick?" And I said, "Feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want." Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
It's the Oak Creek Lions Fest Friday through Labor Day, and this year's lineup is rockin' with 3 live music venues, family fun, games, carnival rides, the Oak Creek Lions Big Money $8,000 cash raffle, helicopter rides, and live local band favorites jamming every day. Featuring great food with Friday's fish fry, Saturday's famous steak sandwiches, along with their ever-popular pork and beef sandwiches on Sunday and Monday. All 3 stages will be playing great hits with the hottest in local live music from American Graffiti, Bella Kane, Third Coast Blues Collective, Florit, The Toys, The Blues Disciples, Line Dance, 33 RPM, and Reverend Raven and Westside Andy with the Chain-Smokin' Altar Boys, along with many other great bands. Don't miss the 2025 Oak Creek Lions Fest, 2 miles east of I-94 and 3 blocks north of Ryan Road at 9327 South Shepherd Avenue. Free admission, free parking. Friday through Labor Day, it's Oak Creek Lions Fest. Find out more at oakcreeklions.com. oakcreeklions.com.
Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Bryce is nice. Didn't have a loud game today. Did it a triple. Had a single and run scored in the 3rd. He would have liked to trade both those hits for a hit there in the 9th, I'm sure. But hey, that's baseball. Bryce Terang is having himself a month of August. He's a legitimate contender for the National League Player of the Month. And the reason why I now suddenly have pause is because we know how the East Coast rolls with these things. Kyle Schwarber has a 4-homer game tonight, y'all. 21st in Major League Baseball history. He's pretty darn good at baseball. The Braves and the Phils. Yep, Phils just went final 19-4. It's the Braves, though. The Braves are not very good. But when you look at Bryce Terang, let me just give you his slash for the month of August. 347 batting average, leads the National League. 404 on base percentage. That's in the top 5. A 716 slugging, best in the National League. And an 1120 OPS, also best in the National League. So, again, you've got a couple days left here in the month, but I think he's got this pretty much wrapped up unless Kyle Schwarber has another 4-homer game for some reason. He's got 9 homers this month. Schwarber now has 12 to lead the NL. They were, Bryce was 1 ahead of him coming into today, but let me just give you some of the names that Bryce is ahead this month in just homers. Willy Adames, who hit 2 today. Pete Alonso. William Contreras, he hit his 8th yesterday. Rafi Devers hit another one today. Michael Harris, he's had an incredible month. Also, Lourdes Gurriel, who is nearing a franchise record with 32 RBIs in the month of August. Most RBIs in a single month in Diamondbacks history. He's 3rd all-time on that list. But the point I'm trying to make here is Bryce is a legitimate offensive threat right now. And I think a lot of us weren't expecting to ever see the day. And you can dive into all the numbers you want and kind of figure things out with bat tracking and quality of contact, bat speed. I think all that stuff is very valuable, but it's a slippery slope because you can tell a guy, you can look at the number and be like, oh, just change this. And it's not quite that simple, especially when it comes to hitting. Intercept points and attack angles. Like, remember when Yelly was going through all of the, conversations with hitting gurus about, do you hit up on the ball? Do you hit down on the ball? Should you be adding backspin? Should you be just focusing on hitting the ball hard? Like, these are 400-level courses of hitting in Major League Baseball. But I think one of the things that we've learned with this public-facing bat tracking stuff and the way that big leaguers do their craft is, A, there's not one size fits all, and B, anybody can change. I think Bryce Terang is a great example of all this. When he first arrived in the big leagues, and we don't have bat tracking data back to 2023, but think about it. He was an opposite field guy. He wasn't trying to, air pull the ball with power. And air pull is sort of a slippery slope again, because the nerds will tell you, oh, you should pull the ball in the air as much as you can. That's how you get the most damage. Okay, but if the pitcher knows you're gonna try to pull the ball in the air, he's gonna give you soft away, and make an adjustment one time, So when you look at it year by year for Bryce Terang, his pull air rate has actually gone down on the season rate this season as opposed to last, and even his rookie year in 2023. But he's hitting more quality fly balls, more hard hit fly balls this year than he did in years past. And furthermore, he's not missing heaters. He's hitting 300 on four-seam fastballs, 301 on sinkers, cutters. He's hitting 571. Now, that's both righty and lefty cutters. Granted, not many lefties are going to throw cutters these days. But this is a guy that it all has to start with the heater. That's the first thing I notice with Bryce Terang having such great improvement to his offensive output. He's ready for the heater. I mean, just comparatively, a season ago, he hit 323 against fastballs. That was really the only source of slugging for him last year was on fastballs. He had no other slug elsewhere because when you're on the heater, you're able to get on the other stuff a little more easily. For instance, sliders and breaking balls. He's doing a lot better this year coming into today. A 302 slug may not sound like a lot against breaking balls, but when you actually sit here and think about it, it's a pitch designed to be swung and missed, and he's still putting quality contact on the baseball. But when you look at the bat tracking stuff, and this coincides with what Bryce has been saying in going back to that Cubs series at Wrigley, we ask him all the time, like, are you trying to hit more home runs? You're trying to hit more home runs? Oh my gosh, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just trying to catch the ball out front. I'm just trying to get and click it in the right spot. Meaning there would be times that earlier in the year, Murph would joke with us in the media about Bryce and his persistence, and it's like, I can hit that pitch, meaning elevated fastballs in the zone. And you can look at this month by month for Bryce Terang on his performance against in-zone fastballs. And Baseball Savant is a very easy search to do, but with the way that he's able to attack them now, and when he's talking about catching it out front, that's where the bat tracking comes in. He's actually catching it out front, another 3 inches out front. I know what you're thinking, 3 inches. What's the big deal? Well, if you're going from a middle up fastball trying to make contact with it, but if you're so used to catching it deep, catching it more on the plate, there's no way that ball's going to get pulled. And you could still hit it hard, but you're leaving less room for error and more likely of a chance to catch it on the handle. You're only going to go to the opposite field. You can still hit liners, you can still hit doubles that way, but it's going to have a hard time to hit for power. But in the words of Pat Murphy, like he talked about at Wrigley, when he hit that opposite field home run in Game 1 of that 5-game set, Barry Bonds told Pat Murphy years ago when he came back to visit Arizona State, you can show me all these lefties that can go pull side. When you see a lefty that can go bridge the other way, that's a hitter. And we've seen Bryce do that a handful of times this year. But to have the confidence that, hey, I can let the ball travel, still hit it for power. But now what we're seeing here in August, literally the number suggests he's 3 inches in front of, 3 more inches in front. He's 6 inches in front of the plate for his average contact point on balls in play. Whereas it was 3 inches for the whole season coming into this month. So again, catch it out front. You're going to get the ball pop. You're going to get the ball with a little more juice behind it, and you're going to hit more balls in the air. His average bat speed, 73 miles an hour for the month. That's pretty darn good. I mean, MLB average is about 70, 71, and a fast swing is 75. And Bryce Terang, yes, strikeouts are a little up this year, but the production's paid off. He's about to be a rookie, or player of the month for August, if you have to ask me, and while playing fantastic defense at second base. I mean, look at the plays that he made today. The backhanded play up the middle, the great play to his left. I mean, he was directly responsible for a couple of runs off the board in today's contest. So to see Bryce develop into a bona fide threat at the plate, he was hitting cleanup today. Like, again, we talked about it the other day against Eduardo Rodriguez on Monday. Tell somebody in 2023 that Bryce Terang is going to lead off against a lefty. They'd be like, what? Now tell somebody in 2023, Bryce Turang's going to be the cleanup hitter in 2 years. What? Crazy. But good for Bryce. I'm happy for him. He deserves his success. He has put a lot into it, and I believe the best is still yet to come. He's had a tremendous month of August. Let's hope he keeps on rolling into September and, of course, into October. Up next, we're going to talk to Sal Frelick, tell you a little bit about the Heart and Hustle Award before we hear from Sal. It was created by the Major League Baseball Players Alumni Association back in 2005, so this is the 21st year of them handing out the award. They did not hand out the award, actually, in 2020, but it's voted on by MLBPA alumni and active major leaguers, and it's presented annually. Each team gets a representative, and it's meant to be given to a player who demonstrates a passion for the game and best embodies the values, spirit, and traditions of the game. And obviously you're thinking, yeah, you're nodding. Yeah, that's Sal Frelick. That's Sal Frelick. The committees are chosen based on the passion, desire, and work ethic demonstrated both on and off the field. And as the season draws to a close, fans, all alumni and active players will vote to find the final winner from the 30 team winners. And again, Sal Frelick is the nominee this year for the Brewers. Last year, it was Willy Adames. The year prior, it was Christian Yelich. But Sal seems like a pretty good pick for this year. Up next after the break, we'll hear from Sal Frelick on the award, what it means to be a guy of heart and hustle on 620 WTMJ.
Back with more Brewers Weekly after this.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Summer's not done yet. Be here September 1st when the Brewers host the Phillies. And get ready because we're celebrating the long weekend with $1 Hot Dog Day at the Labor Day game. Get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
It's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $200 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Psalm 90 says, "Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom." This week on the Lutheran Hour, Archives August concludes with a classic message from Dr. Dale Meyer. Life narrows down. Our limitations increase as our possibilities decrease. Life narrows down and it focuses our attention on Jesus. That's this week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
This is Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Welcome back on Brewers Weekly. I'm Dom Catronio. Please be joined by Sal Frelick, this year's Heart and Hustle Award recipient for the Brewers. Every team has a representative, Sal, and you're the Brewers representative this season. So first of all, the reaction when you received that award, and what do you know about it, and just sort of the overall takeaway from it?
Yeah, super cool, super honored when I found out. I think for most awards that aren't skill-based, I find myself pretty eligible for them. So I figured that when they told me I might be up for it, that was pretty cool. Felt like it was up my alley, and they told me I won it, which was awesome.
When you learn about the award and that it's Players Alumni and it's Players Association, does that add a little bit of weight to getting this honor?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, to know that like a lot of players I watched growing up that I idolized are the ones that vote on it, I think is pretty cool. So to get that recognition from them is awesome.
So we talk about your game, and as a fellow short king, we can understand that we get sort of, profiled and sort of people assume things about it. But you're a guy that multi-sport athlete, you've played hard your whole life. Is there a spot that comes from, or just sort of, this is how I learned to play the game and this is the only way I know?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I think comes from a standpoint of having, been an undersized guy and having to, stand out in other ways growing up. And at the same time, just like, how I was raised and how I was taught to play the game. My parents, my coaches I've had, so a combination of both, but can't ever imagine not playing that way.
Now, we all know the story of Pedroia, but is there other guys that you point out, even, other than Pedroia, or even in games, guys in the game now that you think of that, that's the kind of style of play that I can model myself after, or ways that I want to impact the game?
Yeah, I mean, a ton of guys. I love the guy over in Cleveland right now. Two guys over there, actually, Quan and Ramirez. I think they're both really, really good examples in this game. Two guys I watched a lot, took note of them, even when I was in high school and college. Have been a Mookie fan since I was growing up, since he was in Boston. Another one, I think. A lot of the guys too that I think resonated are those superstars that take pride in base running, take pride in defense, small ball, whatever it might be. I think is super special and should hold a big place in this game for guys like that.
We kind of see that coming back in vogue now, right? With the, no shifts. We're seeing the athleticism come back into the game. There's value in putting the ball in play, base running. How do you feel this team just sort of embraces that, and that is obviously part of your guys' identity?
Yeah, I mean, that's our whole identity. And that's, I think, it's not even as much as we embrace it as I think, that's why we're here, because the front office and coaches understand, this is our identity, and they got to find the right guys that fit that mold. So, I mean, anybody we've brought into this clubhouse doesn't even have to embrace it, because that's just how they are, and that's why they're here. You look at all the guys we've traded for at the deadline, the guys that we've signed, even the guys that we've drafted, that are homegrown, I think all kind of fit that mold, and it's just a credit to the front office and, Murph and all our staff for identifying a culture and then, finding guys that fit that mold.
It's ball knower Sal Frelick joining us here on 620 WTMJ. Appreciate the time and best of luck the rest of the year.
Thanks, Tom.
The thing with Sal, and this was recorded before the game today, so hitting a homer certainly helps pay off the interview. So maybe everybody should want to do pregame interviews with us here on WTMJ. But the thing with Sal that to give you an idea of the gamer that he is and that Murph knows, fouls the ball off his shin, goes down, shakes off, shoes off the trainer, goes out there, gets a little base knock, no big deal, but then instantly makes the jumping catch that Murph referred to. He didn't need a jump for, but he's fearless, man. Next at bat, he's got a shin guard on, no big deal, strap me up, I'm ready to play. Pretty impressive stuff. Heart and Hustle Award recipient, Sal Frelick. We'll find out if he wins the overall award at the end of the year. All right, let's preview the Blue Jays. Big series. Talk about it. Maybe a World Series preview? Next on 620 WTMJ.
Catch more Brewers Weekly coming up on WTMJ.
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano from Wisconsin's Morning News. It's baseball season, which means Brewers 360 is back every day at 8:40. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Every day, all season long, we're joined exclusively by Brewers guests, including manager Pat Murphy and more. So Murphy, as we're wrapping up our interview.
Great talking to you. Really enjoyed it, okay?
I was like, you did? Is he just in a good mood, or what'd y'all do to Murph?
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Summer's not done yet. Be here September 1st when the Brewers host the Phillies. And get ready because we're celebrating the long weekend with $1 Hot Dog Day at the Labor Day game. Get your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
My gut tells me that this summer heat's gonna last, and that means your AC's gonna be put through the paces. Now, we all know that AC can take a licking and keep on ticking, especially if it's an Armstrong. But when yours needs to be put out to pasture, call Quality. With over 70 vehicles on the road, we'll be there in a hurry. And with over 60 years of experience, how can you go wrong?
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. I don't have to tell you that a lot of dust and other junk collects in your ductwork. And it doesn't just sit there. It's blowing around in your home. And that jeopardizes your home health. The commercial industrial duct cleaning system we use at Quality darn near sucked the shirt right off our tech the first time he used it. Believe me, not everybody has this powerful of a system. It's unlike any other. At Quality, you get the best duct cleaning, period. So call Quality first for your duct cleaning needs.
For the signature service you deserve.
It's Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
All right, it's going to be a fun one north of the border. Let's give you those times. We'll have post games after all three contests as well. Tomorrow, Friday, 6:07 first pitch. We'll be on after the game. Pre-game show will begin at 5:30. If we want to be precise, it could be 5:32, but we'll do 5:30. 2:07 on Saturday. We'll be on the air at 1 o'clock with Brewers warm-up. And then on Sunday, 12:37, we're on the air at high noon to get you ready for Brewers and Blue Jays. Tomorrow, Freddie Peralta against Shane Bieber. On Saturday, Quinn Priester against Kevin Gaussman. And then on Sunday, Max Scherzer against Brandon Woodruff. Whew, there's going to be some angry fastballs in that one. Then the Phillies come to town Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll have post-game shows after all three of those games as well, even the 3:10 Monday and the 3:10 on Thursday. So some odd times. Nonetheless, the Brewers will be ready to play against Toronto. Now, every team, I talked about this on last night's postgame show, but I'll reiterate it here. Everyone that talks about, oh, your schedule is so easy, oh, your schedule is so hard, like none of that is for sure. I mean, ask how the Cubs feel right now after getting swept by the under 500 Giants, right? And the Rockies just won a series against the Dodgers just last week. Like, anything can happen. That's how we play baseball. That's why we play so many games, because on any given night, the better team can lose. That's why we don't just play one game in the playoffs. That's why there are series. So the more that the Brewers have time on their side, 27 games to go, it just doubles down on the impact of wins. You win a game, man, you're lowering that magic number, because technically right now that magic number is 21, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really care about magic numbers till it's in like 15 range. That's when it can be done in a week. So we'll be monitoring that. The point being, every Brewers win obviously impacts the magic number, but I'm just saying it impacts the psyche of the Cubs if they're going to chase it down. The Brewers are still the best record in the National League. They are still 6 games better than the Los Angeles Dodgers, who they have the tiebreaker on as well, if it comes down to that. Right now, the Dodgers are the 2 seed. That's going to do it for us. We'll talk to you tomorrow after the game. Our producer, Brian Kelly. I'm Dom Catronio. Good night, and keep on swinging.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma Brands